Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, this venue will host Super Bowl 55 in a couple years' time, but for now, we've got non-playoff football here at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Just a short time ago, the Buccaneers emerging from their tunnel to the roar of this frenzied crowd here in the Sunshine State. And we're in the big ship, and fittingly, everyone here ready to do battle as Tampa Bay gets ready to match up with the Indianapolis Colts. From up top, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They'll be led out by the only six-time Super Bowl champion in league history. In his 20th season now, Tom Brady.
I guess we're going to have to nickname him the thrower, aren't we, or something like that.
After last week?
I mean, man, you're talking about over 400 yards throwing the ball. The running backs and everyone else may be looking at him like, hey, don't forget us. And he'd probably just tell them, listen, you want to get involved?
Go out.
Go out and catch some passes. I'll make sure you touch it.
Alabama, 380. I'm on.
Throwing on first down is Brady. Buying time to his left. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And with the Buccaneers' new coaching staff, you have to figure they're going to want to use O.J. Howard a little bit more this season. 34 catches, 565 yards last year, but that was in only 10 games. 6'6", 251, and can run. Find a way to get him the ball as they just did there.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brady. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Justin Houston in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. On 3rd and long, it's Brady. Jones has it. Call it a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So here come the Colts under second-year coach Frank Reich. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback out of North Carolina State. It's Phillip Rivers.
Just 4 weeks left in the regular season, and he has to be firmly in the driver's seat for the MVP award.
Yeah, as the month of December wears on, we'll see how this all shakes out, and the debate will certainly heat up. But he's done everything they've asked of.
Head right now, though, to see what he's thinking, how much this is affecting him. Is he thinking about it at all? Are his teammates talking to him about it? He's dealing with a little bit of pressure, though, even though he's right now the #1 guy.
A man who played college football here in the Sunshine State. It's USF's Marlon Mack. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 14 carries, 68 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Here's Mack. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And we look now at the offense for Indianapolis.
Ryan Kelly's a great example of how valuable centers have become in the NFL. A former first-round pick, he was plugged in immediately to be a starter to handle big nose tackles as well as blitzing linebackers, and also able to move and get out into the run game and get to the second and third level and deliver blocks.
Rivers on the money, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 41-yard line. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. Play fake, Rivers. He's going to let this go end zone for Hilton. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. T.Y. Hilton once again, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the #1 overall passing team in the NFL, but it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test, going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Rivers. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 27-yard line. Rivers on first down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on 1st and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And I'd go right at him with another momentum play. I'd go quickly and attack them, because right now they probably have their heads down a little bit since they didn't stop them on third down.
They made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. We're scoreless after 1. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Colts in possession as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
180! 180! You can't block me. You can't block me.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. 2nd and goal from the 1. Rivers to throw it. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. Shaquille Barrett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he's going to go down again. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg. Maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard. That's about it. But as long as he's booting them the way he's booting them, keep going, big guy.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. We remind you that coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football. Seems like we've seen the Seahawks quite a bit in prime time the last few weeks, and we get them again tonight as they head down to L.A. to take on the Rams. And then tomorrow night for Monday Night Football, it's Giants-Eagles from chilly Philadelphia.
Switch up, switch up.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Caught by Jones. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Brady, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Walker coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. I mean, change the blocking schemes. Maybe go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Brady's got his guys 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Dancing to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. The sack by Marcus Hunt. After the sack on 1st down, Brady. And his throw is incomplete. Darius Leonard, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Regular.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. And he's got a man. It's the tight end, Howard, complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. A first down throw here for Rivers. He's got it to Hilton. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. That'll be caught by Rodgers. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. You're down 3 under a minute to go. How aggressive are you going to be in this spot?
Not as aggressive as I probably would want to be. Only down 3. I mean, it might as well be even going into the half. That's not a deficit that makes me want to push it and potentially make a mistake in this situation and cost myself even more points.
But, boy, getting in a field goal range and tying it, that's tempting.
Awfully enticing. You almost talked me into it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Brady being chased out left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On third down, Brady buying time to his left. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play there. Second down. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando. It's Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll start at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium, an NFC South matchup between Atlanta and Carolina. And that one finds the Falcons out in front. Matt Ryan has a touchdown pass. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Baltimore Ravens. John Brown, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to the Bayou. Check on the Saints at home at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. and they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Saints need to be about perfect in this stretch, as they could get back to 500 at 6-6 with a win. In the game you're watching, it's the veteran Phillip Rivers who's up to his old tricks. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake here. Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
And a little bit of good fortune there. He wasn't able to get it back, but he did have a teammate on the spot able to retain possession for them.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Throwing Rivers. And he's got his man Hilton. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. Good starting field position for the Colts as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Rivers. Hits his target, the tight end, Mo Alley Cox. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Rivers under a heavy rush, and down he goes. JPP cruising in for the sack that time.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Wait, 20. 50 to mine. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Brady now on first down. Forced out to his left. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. That's caught by Howard. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Brady dancing to his left. He finds his target. It's Evans. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Back-to-back plays of right around 30 yards, and the field position has totally been flipped. And Brady's throw there incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
2nd down and goal. Brady, and he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Vince Beagle, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Now Brady, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. O.J. Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Throwing, Rivers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Switch.
Throwing again. Rivers. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he'll be out right at the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
All right, 380. Oh, here we go.
Rivers now to throw on 1st down. He completes this one to Mack. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a 1st.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To the air again here, Rivers. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. Rivers now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Rivers. A good throw here finding Pascal. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Devin White in there to drop him, and that will go in the books as the first sack of his young NFL career. Congratulations, young man. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. To throw is Rivers. And he's got his man. It's Hilton for the Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Colts are going to jump back in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. A 10-play drive that time, and it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Tom Brady in the offense. Down 10-7, 2:18 on the clock. Plenty of time here. They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning as they've got it 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Brady now on 1st down. Steps away to his left. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the 1st, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movements. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to do what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does, and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady being chased out, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the 1st by a few yards. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1st down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13.
Pardon, you got to like what
and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Buying time to his left. And he finds Howard complete. And they'll get him to the ground. And he has another first down at the Colts' 29-yard line. They'll look to throw. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
Hill. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. Little clock management 101.
Block 15! Block 54! Under 10! Under 10! 10!
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost felt like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football. Low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for Indianapolis, their very slim playoff hopes remain as they move to 6-7 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Tampa Bay, it's a potentially fatal blow to their playoff chances as they drop to 6-7 on the year. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.